Hello everyone, welcome to a new video. I thought I'd do another video in the garden. Thanks for watching. I want to talk about aquascape products. They're incredibly expensive for what they are. Are they high quality, well made, durable? Most of it's made out of carbon fibre. It's very strong and it's going to last a long time. It's going to be UV resistant. They're incredibly expensive, however. So let's just talk about the skimmer boxes. You know, the Signature 1000. That skimmer box is about £500. They do a smaller version, about £350. The Signature 400, I believe. They're well made and they're good products, but they're incredibly expensive for what they are. And there are alternatives. Oasis do their own skimmer box as well, which is like half the price. And keep in mind, a lot of these products, while they're incredibly expensive and well made, they are made in China. You know, all the Aquascape stuff says made in China, so it's not like Aquascape could say we make our own stuff in the US and that's why prices are higher. It's not the case. Now I can appreciate there's going to be research and development. They do try and give you the perception that they invented all this stuff. Now, to be honest with you, a lot of it they haven't. A lot of it they've just adapted it from other people that are selling similar sort of products. I'll give you an example. They sell something called aqua blocks, which is just basically a plastic box that can hold a lot of gravel on top, and it's a void for water to percolate through, and it holds a lot of water when you put a line around it. However, builders of soakaways and drainage companies have been using a similar thing for many years, so Aquascape didn't invent it, you know, so let's just get that out of the way. So I want to talk about spillway bowls. Aquascape spillway bowls are very well made, strong, large, but very expensive. You're talking £600 for the spillway bowl, and for the basin bowl it's about the same sort of money. And obviously if you buy the whole kit system for a disappearing waterfall in the ground, they give you like a plastic box that contains all the water. Again, it's really expensive in terms of a kit, and it can cost between £3,000 and £4,000, which is ridiculous. There is a DIY way of achieving that sort of thing, and you can buy a plastic container like this box from a shop, a DIY place, Amazon, you know, garden centre. Now a lot of them do have pre-drilled holes, you know, because they're designed for putting plants in, and you can see that with silicone, or you can try and find one that doesn't have any drilled holes. This doesn't have any drilled holes. The company that's made this is called Eki. I think I'll just show you that. Can you see that, guys, in the camera? Hopefully you can. And you can basically achieve a similar sort of thing with something like this, a basic plastic thing. A DIY way of doing it a lot cheaper. Now, will it be as durable? Will it last as long? The plastic is quite thin, so I can push it a little bit. But you know, for £13 you can buy like 20 of these and still get nowhere near the prices that Aquascape charge. So you know, everything's relative on what you're prepared to pay, I suppose. And people may say the Aquascape products are worth it because they're high quality, very durable. But again, it's a lot of money, you know. Oasis do a similar thing in copper, but they're charging about £1,800 for some of their high quality stuff. Again, very expensive. So I'm going to use this DIY method. What we're going to do is we're going to cut a hole in this. I'm going to get some sort of tank connector with a seal on here. We can attach your pipes at side. A lot of times you'll see them do it underneath as well, and because there's no pre-drilled holes, it's not a problem. We could do that at the bottom if we needed to. But I'm going to sit this on the side of my sleeper pond, so I'll have to do it from the side. And like the basin bowl, before the spillway bowl came out with Aquascape's products, their installers tended to get the basin bowl and actually cut squares in it like that. Sometimes they'd put like 4 in, you know, like that, and it would like it'd be like a 4-way waterfall that would come out of this and flow into the plastic container. But their kit is between £3,000 and £4,000. It's a lot of money for a water feature. You know, to be frank, it's a lot of money, and I think it's well overpriced. That's my opinion. But there are other options. You know, you can go to a DIY store, you know, like B&Q in the UK, or there's various other places in the US similar, I suspect, and just buy a plastic planter, modify it, and turn that into a waterfall. So that's what we're going to do with this, and I thought I'd just talk about it briefly. You don't have to spend mega bucks. You know, not everyone's got £3,000 that they can spend on a water feature. Put it in context. My pond there, as it stands at the moment, without doing any sort of modifications to make it bigger, it cost me roughly that, £3,000. So, what would you rather have? A little disappearing waterfall in the ground, you know, with these bowls, or a large pond where you could put fish in? The choice is yours, I guess. But without further ado, let's modify this. Right guys, so I've cut a little hole there, as you can see. It's really important you get this right, bang on. I thought I'd just show you the inside of it as well. You see that? So I've cut out a little bit of the plastic there, of that side. So essentially, it has sort of weakened the structure a little bit, but it should be alright. So essentially, I want to fill it up with water and see how it does. Right, I've just put a little hose pipe in there with some stones. I just want to see how this does. So let's just change the angle and then see how it does. Right, I just thought I'd show you what a difference changing the angle of the water does on the hose pipe. So if I put it right through the top, we've got more of a uniform straight waterfall. However, if you angle it a bit more over that way, it sort of pushes the water over that way. Nevertheless, it's not bad, is it? Right, so this top lid section does come off, and this was what keeps the strength of it. Without that, it's quite flimsy, as you can see. Obviously the Aquascape product is a lot stronger than this, but when I put that back on, but what I'm going to do is I'm just going to silicone around it. I put a bit of silicone there and just strengthen it a bit more. Right guys, I thought I'd just show you what I've done to reinforce this a bit. I put some black silicone around there, some there, some there to reinforce. Put some silicone all the way around the rim as well to secure this lid because it was a bit loose. And then on this area here I've just put like a silicone reinforcement all the way around, just to make it a bit stronger in this area, so it won't water percolates over through here. So basically when we put our rubber seal in around here, the water will flow in here, rise up through some gravel, maybe we'll have some plants on top, move along through to the actual waterfall spillway and then out. That's more or less how it'll work. So I just need to wait for that silicone to go off. This is MS300 that we're using, and we just give that a bit of time to go off, and then we can start filling it up. I'm going to have to do like cut a hole in here that's going to be 32mm, so we can put our seal in there and then attach some flexi hose to the back. Sometimes when the people do these, they have the water coming up from the centre. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to place this on one of the sleepers shelf, so obviously I can't do that. So you know, I think best place is to put it in there and then it come through here, rises up and then out through the waterfall area. Anyway, I thought I'd just show you that. Right guys, so I've just fitted a 32mm elbow. You're supposed to put the gasket on the inside, but unfortunately, however it's been designed, I've had to put it on the outside. But not to worry, I've siliconed the actual plastic screw head and attached this bit of pipe here with a bit of silicone. Drilled some holes in the bottom of this, and the idea is when it's gone off I'll be able to bend it and force it near to the middle, and then we'll put our gravel on top and it'll come through the gravel then. So essentially that's completed, just got to let the silicone go off. I just thought I'd show you more or less how it's going to run. So obviously I've got some flexi hose 32mm piping here. That'll attach to that elbow there. Obviously that way water will come through, rise. We'll probably have a bit of pre-gravel on the top and some plants, and obviously lava rock as well, and that will be a very useful filter. Why am I doing this, you might be asking? Why not just go with another box filter like I have done? Well, I need something as a temporary filter anyway, and this will serve as a temporary filter for this large pool, because I've got to put my fish in here. Because whenever you're transferring fish from a permanent home to a temporary home, you need to make sure this is going to look after your fish properly. As you can see, got a net on, because previously you may have seen one of my past videos where one of my ghost koi decided to jump out for no apparent reason. So ever since then, you know, people have suggested you should have a net. So that's what we've got. We've got a nice net on put on here. So essentially it'll stop the fish jumping out. I'm going to use the temporary bowl filter on this pool as well. So obviously it'll give it aeration. I might just put it on top there and it'll go into... Right guys, in the wind, I thought I'd just show you what we've done here. Sorry about the wind. So basically we've got some 32mm flexi hose, bulkhead attached with a rubber seal on there, all siliconed in with a nut tightened up, all siliconed as well. And we've got the 90mm flexi hose with holes in it, a bit like a spray bar type of thing, and it should fill this up and spill. So let's get that working. So there you go, that's how it's working at the moment. Let me just zoom in so you can see that a little bit. So we're running at 9,200 litres per hour on there, so you can clearly see it's well overkill for that. However, we can dumb that down with a less powerful pump, or use my VariFlow pump and just run it at maybe 50% or 20%. But it gives you an idea of the performance of what this thing will do. Thanks for watching my videos today guys, appreciate you coming. Is it me, or does it always take longer than you expected to do something, and you end up spending many weekends trying to fix things and sort things out rather than getting something done in one day? Well, that's life, I guess. We've been doing the bowl today, doing stuff around the pond today, and check out my videos and subscribe, like the videos please, I do appreciate it. If you do come to the channel, please just press that subscribe button. It means the world to me if I could get to 1,000 subscribers on this pond channel, would appreciate it. Anyway, see you later, bye bye.